Hello and welcome. Welcome to my first in a series of videos on free plugins. Today we're looking at the Melda Production Mequaliser. For anybody who hasn't heard of Melda Production, at the time of making this video, they actually had 34 free plugins available for you to download and use quite freely in your productions with no charge. To avail of these, obviously just go to their website, go to bundles and download. Let's have a look at the Mequaliser, and here it is. Now there's a lot of functionality on this plugin. Now the idea of this video isn't to really cover it in depth per se. What I'm going to cover is what I like about it and have a look at how exactly I use it. What do I like about it? Well, first off, it's free. The best price possible. It is free. Now, free would be meaningless if it doesn't sound good. And that brings me to the next thing I like about it. It absolutely does sound good. It sounds really good, and I use it a lot in my own productions. So let's start having a closer look at the plugin. Okay, by default, this is what it looks like, and band 4 of 6 available bands is already activated. Double left click, deactivate, double left click, and the same for all the other bands as well. I narrow the bandwidth by grabbing this guy here and just left click, hold and dragging it inwards. So one of the first things that we're going to have a look at with this plugin is this function here called auto listen. So, you know, sometimes in our recorded material, we will have kind of rogue frequencies going on, resonances that we don't like and so forth. And what we want to do is track them down and turn them down. With the auto listen function, this helps this. So what I do is I click auto listen. It highlights. I'm going to play. I'm going to left click, hold and drag. Perfect. And as long as you hold it, you can just tune in to whatever frequency your band is at. And once you find what you don't like, let go, turn off auto listen, and turn down that area, that resonance that you don't like in your sound. Okay, next up, I'm going to go right click on the band, and it opens up this dialog window, which has a lot of stuff going on in it. On the left hand side, in 2 rows, we have the different types of EQ: peak, analog, shelf, high shelf, low shelf, high pass, low pass, and all the usual. If we go over here, we can see that we got these choices here. So we can affect left plus right of the signal, which is basically your whole signal, your whole stereo signal. You can have this band just affect the right hand side of your stereo signal or your left hand side of your stereo signal. So say I've got drum overheads here. If we had a really crashy cymbal on one side, on the right hand side, we could just set this band to affect the right hand side, turn down that frequency area where the cymbal is just a little bit too annoying, and not affect the rest of your stereo signal. I'm going to come back out of there. Go over here to the right hand side. And we get all these different choices, the top one being left right, being basically the default. But if we make our way down here, we've got mid plus side. Let's click on that. And now when you right click, the choices here now are mid plus side, which is your whole stereo signal. Mid only, which is your phantom stereo center. And side only. And this can be changed per band as well, really handy. So, you know, a high shelf for just the sides can really make your whole signal sound wider. Let's go OK out there. And I am going to change this back to left plus right, which is the default. Okay, that's enough talking about the plugin. Let's now hear it in action. So what I've lined up for us here, I'm just going to take the plugin out of the way for a moment. I've got some drums here. I've got overheads, got kick, I got snare. And what I'm doing is I'm looping them over just one bar. So by just looping it over one bar, it just helps you really kind of tune in to the differences that we're making with this EQ. Let's have a quick listen to what we're going to be using. I'm going to mute my kick and my snare. I'm going to open up the EQ and let's play, and we're going to start with the overheads. And I'm going to be just doing to these drums what I would normally do. And as a matter of interest, I'm not using any other plugin whatsoever, purely the Mequaliser. Let's play. Okay, first things first, I'm going to go for a high pass filter. I'm going to go OK. And let's just bring that in a bit. Okay, too much. In around 100 Hertz. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this band here, just going to narrow the bandwidth, the Q. And then I'm going to go in around, probably 500 Hertz. And it just begins to really tighten up the sound. Okay, so it's starting to sound quite nice. Let's just bypass it for a moment. Okay, maybe a bit too much on that. Okay, that's fine. And now we're going to go for a high shelf, brighten it up a bit. Okay, that's giving our drums, or drum overheads in particular, a little bit of shape. Just focusing the sound. Next, we're going to go to the kick. Okay, let's open up our EQ. Double left click, just take that away for the moment. So let's go looking for some body in this kick. Oh, you can start to hear it there. Somewhere around there. Just bring it down a bit now to a sensible level. Bypass it. Yeah, that's sounding quite nice. Okay, next I'm just going to solo the kick here for a moment. I just want to take some of that flabbiness off it. Narrow the bandwidth, and let's see. It really tightens it up. That's nice. Let's put it back in with the overheads. Sounding quite nice and tight. Yep. Okay, let's look for a little bit more definition on the kick. I'm going to go up here. And let's just really go through extreme settings just to see what we get. You can hear it there. Oh, let's go for that. Bring it down to a sensible level. Nice, very nice indeed. Let's finally go for the snare. There's the snare. Okay. Let's start affecting the snare. I'm going to go for high pass filter first. Right click. High pass filter. Okay. Let's just bring that in a wee bit there. Let's just solo the snare. That's quite nice there. Whilst we're in here, let's just see if we can minimize that ring on the snare. Narrow the bandwidth. You can also narrow the bandwidth with the scroll wheel on your mouse. Okay, let's have a go at that. Okay. Yeah, again. It's that old 500 Hertz area again, isn't it? Let's bring the snare back in. Let's start looking for some body in this snare. Oh yeah. Bring it down a bit to a sensible level. Bypass the EQ. Okay, a little bit more. Yeah. Now let's give that snare a little bit of crack. Bring it down to a sensible level. And there's and all this EQing is giving our drums quite a lot of focus. What I'm going to do next, whilst it's still playing, I'm going to bypass all 3 EQs. Let's have a listen to that. Oh yeah, big difference. Let's put all the EQs back in. Very nice indeed. There you have it. The Melda Production Mequaliser. Really nice EQ and it's free. There you go. If you like this video, please do consider subscribing to me. I'm going to be producing an awful lot more videos just like this one. We'll be continuing with the free plugins series and we'll see what I have next. Okay, thanks for tuning in. See you next time.